Alright, what's up, guys? Just wanted to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2. Uh, this movie continues where the last one left off. And before I go ahead and talk about that, I did forget in the other video to talk about the music and the. I forgot to talk about that. Um, I think it's an interesting idea. It's supposed to be for kill mom, kill her mommy or whatever. That's one of the lines Betsy Palmer says, and it's just kill mom or kill mama or whatever. So, and it's just shortened to ki ma. And the guy who did it, I don't remember who it was who did the effect, but I saw it in a documentary. He says the words ki and ma, and then there's like this machine that echoes it, which is cool. So it goes. It's really cool. It's really effective, and it's very simple, but it works. So I just want to talk about that before I go ahead and go into Friday 13th Part 2. Now, Friday 13th Part 2 picks up where the last one left off. Basically, you have Adrienne King, who's in her apartment, I think, and yeah, she ends up, doing a couple things, and then she opens up the refrigerator and sees the head in there, and then she gets killed. And then that's the end of her character. Personally, I think they should have stretched her character out a little bit and then killed her off, but then I guess it's like, I guess people would have complained and been like, well, 15 minutes just to watch this character die, but it's like, I wish there was a little more exposition, a little bit. Not much, but like 15 minutes maybe, or something, and then maybe throw up the title screen, but kind of like how they did in the remake. They did all that stuff and then the title came out. But maybe not quite that long. But I just thought it would have worked better if they extended her character for a bit, and done something. But you get these new characters, and from what I understand, it was a camp next to Camp Crystal Lake. It wasn't actually at Camp Crystal Lake. It's been a while since I've seen these, so bear in mind, especially when you watch the first 4 movies, they're all so similar. Kills and plot lines and things kind of mesh together, so it's kind of hard to remember sometimes what movie had what death scene and whatnot. But, this movie has some pretty good kills. You got the guy, I think the most memorable one is the guy in the wheelchair getting killed. I think there was another one where there were 2 people having sex and he stabbed through both of them. It's kind of like the Kevin Bacon thing, but it was actually through the bodies instead of just like through the neck. But it's really hard for me to remember some of the kills because it's just been a while. And but I mean, I know the wheelchair one. That was probably the most memorable one. You've also got Jason in this movie, which is the first time he's in the movie. And again, from what I understand, I don't think it's explained. I think it's implied, but it's, he saw his mom get decapitated, so then they, he's going to kill all these people, which it makes sense. But personally, I think really this is kind of like the first Friday the 13th movie. I think it's really like this is the first one, and the first one, like literally the first one could have been condensed like it was with this movie. Give you the little exposition. Oh, Jason was my son, and today's his birthday. And kill her, mommy, and all that other stuff, and then do the head decapitation, just like how this movie introed. Like that's how I think the first one should have started. It just feels like after watching these now, you don't really want to go back to watch the first one because it's like you don't really care. You can get the synopsis of it, within the first 5 minutes of this movie. So, but Jason, I got to talk about Jason. Jason with the burlap sack. Now, this is something I don't mind, but I know there are people out there that I guarantee you, if they were to bring the burlap sack back in one of the sequels or the reboots or whatever, people would be pissed. They wouldn't be as forgiving. I like it because it is like a breath of fresh air, but I don't think it's bad. Granted, I think I prefer the hockey mask still, but it's a breath of fresh air to see him wear something else. I would love to see him maybe even, lose the hockey mask, or not necessarily the hockey mask goes away, but it temporarily goes away for the film, so he has to use something else to cover his face. I think that would be cool, because then you'd have more unique takes on it, rather than just, oh, this mask has a chip in it, or this mask has this different paint scheme on it, or whatever, you know? I just think it would work a lot better if they were to do that every now and then. Maybe not every movie, but every now and then, you know, make it to where he doesn't have to have the mask, you know? But I like the bag, you know, the bag with the one hole in it, you know. I always liked that. The ending, I didn't see it coming, but I was kind of disappointed when it happened. It was like, oh, they're gonna do that again. And so I was like, you know, it still surprised me in a way, because I really didn't think they were going to do the same thing again. And it just kind of happens so fast, you don't really expect it. But, yeah, it is what it is. This movie, I think, is a better sequel. I think it's a better movie than the original, just because, you know, of what it is. I think it holds up as a good sequel. And, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all I can say. You know, again, favorite death scene from this is the wheelchair one. Because it's so ballsy, and you feel bad for the guy, you know. But that's that. That's, I think, the most memorable scene. And then the bag over the head, I think, is great. Next one will be Friday the 13th Part 3. This is where he gets the mask. And it's in 3D, which is kind of interesting. And, yeah, so, again, like this movie a lot. Stay tuned for Part 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I try to make these shorter. I think in the future these reviews will be shorter than my typical review. A, because I have 10 of these to do. And B, quite frankly, they're the same formula. So it's not like there's a lot to add, you know, other than here's a story, here's the good death scenes, and here's Jason, you know. There's not much to say. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Take care, and I'll see you guys for Friday the 13th, Part 3. Peace.